Hello, my dear friends. Today we're talking about paper clutter, but not the paper clutter that we talk about usually, which is decluttering, mail and children's artwork and old notebooks and things like that. I have videos on that. Today we're talking about paper goods clutter, because when the pandemic started, not everybody, some of you were already doing this, but lots of people started getting lots of paper towels and toilet paper and Kleenex and napkins and things like that. And not just paper, there's other things that people get, but how are you taking care of that? Are you just cramming it wherever you can and now you're opening your cabinets and it's overwhelming, or your garage and things are getting, yucky in the garage or whatever? If you are going to keep a backlog, which is not a bad thing, but not too much. But if you're going to keep a backlog, you need a neat and tidy place to keep it and to inventory it so that you know exactly how many rolls of toilet paper you have, how many paper towels you have, how many boxes of Kleenex you have, how many containers of paper napkins you have, etc. That can go to sanitary supplies. It can be baby diapers. It doesn't even have to be paper. It can be shampoo, cream rinse, mouthwash, toothpaste, all those things that we want to keep on hand that you may have backlogged, other than canned foods, and that has its own thing. But we're talking today about those toiletries and paper things. So design a place that you can keep these things. If you do not have a place to keep them and there is no more room, then you can't do that. Use up what you have and go back to buying maybe one backup, okay? And then if you feel that that's just too scary for you or whatever, then you're going to have to design something. Design something that slides under your beds or something that goes in the back of the closet. You've got to have something, but it can't just be jammed in closets every which way and you don't know what you've got, okay? So today, think about that. Like things go together. So keep all your toilet paper together. Keep all your sanitary napkins together. Keep all the baby diapers together in one place. And it might not be a bad idea to store them in an area close to where you need them. So in my bathroom, even though I live in an RV, we have a tall closet at the top, and we keep extra paper towels and toilet paper in there. Not a lot, but we keep what we need, like 2 rolls of paper towels and 2 rolls of toilet paper in there. And then I have a cabinet in the living room where we keep the backlog. So maybe I keep 4 rolls of paper towels there and 2 packages of toilet paper. So I have my little backlog. It's not a lot, it's a little. In my home, that would have been normal. For here, it feels like a backlog because there's only so much room. But you have to design what you keep based on the size of your home, okay? All right, now let's talk about keeping tabs of what you've got. So I've talked to you before about keeping inventory. I use Kimmy's planner. She's in her apron planner. It's a great planner. This is the one that I'm going to start in September. I'm currently working in my August planner. It's a 4-month planner, but she also has annual planners. In this planner, there's an inventory place. Every month, there's an inventory place. So what you can do in the inventory area, let me get to it, hold on. Right here, she's got shop your shelves every single month, shop your shelves. And next to it, she's got some ideas for side dishes and dinners and things like that. And then on the next page, when you flip it over, there's a blank page. This is where you can keep your inventory for paper goods, because we don't really address toiletries and paper goods on these previous pages, nor do we address them in this book on your master inventory for your freezer and pantry. There's no place for inventory like that. So see, here's a master freezer inventory in the front. There's some blank pages, however, so you could keep a master inventory there as well. There's a 1-2-sided thing. A lot of people use it for overflow if they have more freezer. But let's go to what I was saying before, the actual monthly one. So you're going to go in here under the month and keep track of exactly what you have that's backlogged. That's going to make a huge difference for you so that you don't have to worry about if you're running out and you can't keep track of it. Also put where you're storing it on here. If you have to store it in a couple of places, then you need to put where you're storing it so you don't get lost. Okay, so it doesn't get lost. Also, again, you want to put them in a safe place, a nice dry place, not a buggy place or a place that's dusty and they're going to get dirty. Even though they're in a package, you don't want to handle that dirty package. So you want to keep them in a clean place. Also, I know in the South, roaches like to eat cardboard and paper, so we don't want to keep them in our garage at all, unless you have some kind of a sealed area. So make sure that you are doing that. Now, let's talk about other inventory that you have besides, you know, the pasta on your shelves in the pantry and the cans in your pantry and the things in your freezer and the things in your refrigerator and the paper goods. There are other things that we need to take inventory of. And that would be, especially now because we're working in our gardens, so we want to make sure that we are taking inventory of our seeds, our soil. If you have bags of soil, you have potting soil, you have compost, you have manure, black cow, things like that, you need to keep track of those. If you have several bags, you can keep track of those on one of these pages as well. You can keep track of, if you have seeds that are started, what you have in your seed starter area. If you're going to plant some fall plants and you want to put some annuals out and you don't want to spend a fortune, you want to grow yours from seed, you need to have seed startings, and then those little seeds that are starting, you need to keep track of them. If you're sidetracked like me, you're going to get lost and say, what are these again? Is this straw flower or is this zinnias that I've got going here? I don't know. So make sure you keep track. Not only do you label them, but keep track of them in your book, and you can create a little garden area. What else? Fertilizer, any kind of bug repellents that you might keep out there, or weed repellents, or maybe you don't do either of those and you just need to keep some cardboard on hand and some mulch, and you need to know how much of that you have, then you're going to keep that in here as well. So there are so many uses for this book, but in general I wanted to talk today about paper, but it does go into other things. So you know, I naturally go into other things. So I want you to keep track so that you're not lost. And when you are looking for things, you know where they are. They're in your planner, your master planner. You know where everything is. It's and you've got some notes in the back of your book. There's even a little tab that says notes. That's another great place to keep things. Can you see it? You might not have seen it. Notes. So you can flip over there, and back in notes there are lots of pages for this. All right. Yikes, keep slipping. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's several pages. So you'll have lots of room to keep things like that back in the notes area as well. And that might be where you want to keep it, I don't know. But just come up with a plan for yourself so that you are not lost when it comes time to find something that you thought you needed and now you don't know where it is. That also works for your drawers and everything else. You don't have to write it down, but you do need to have some kind of a plan in your head or in a spiral-bound notebook, or you could keep it in your notes area that says, in the kitchen, this is where I put everything. And in the living room, this is where I put everything. And in the bedroom, this is where I put everything. And that usually starts before you ever even start decluttering. You already have an idea, or I want you to have an idea before you start decluttering, so that you say, I'm going to keep underwear, bras, what else am I going to keep in there? Socks, and I'm going to keep something else in there. Can't think what, chamois or whatever. I'm going to keep those at camis in there. That's what I'm going to keep in that drawer. I'm going to keep my pajamas in this drawer, my gowns, nightgowns in this drawer. I'm going to hang up all my other clothes in the closet. I'm going to keep my winter things or my off-season things in these bins, and my off-season shoes in these bins, my off-season purses in these bins, and I'm going to keep them up there or over there or in there, and you've got it written down. It's really, really important to know where things are so that you can put your finger on it and you don't go buy more. Okay, that's it for today. Have a wonderful day, and always remember to be beautiful, because you are beautiful.